everyone, welcome to the Geekdom, a place where we outcasts get to talk about the things we love, and today we're talking about Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man is one of my favourite fictional characters, so I just had to dedicate a CMF towards him. And what better place to start is there than the man himself, Peter Parker, in his original Amazing Fantasy 15 appearance. So straight away you'll notice that he is very similar to the kind of Spider-Man we get at the minute from LEGO. He's got pretty much exactly the same arm printing, except it's on black arms instead of blue. He has wraparound printing on his feet with that web texture, and the rest of him is just printed on it's just a black plastic. His torso printing is, at first glance, the same as what you'd usually get, but no. First of all, once again, it's on black. The muscle texture is in a blue, like they did in the comics to show the shadows. He has a much bigger spider logo, and the actual red portions of the chest are different to the usual Spider-Man figures we get. Now, the mask texture, the web lines are pretty much exactly the same as what we get usually, but he has the smaller lenses to mimic that of the original artwork from those comic books. Once again, his Spider-Man logo is a bit bigger and very different to what we'd usually get from LEGO, and on the back he also has the blue logo that we saw from that first comic book before they changed it to red. Now, next up is Gwen Stacy. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've already got the Gwen Stacy from the Daily Bugle. That was not Gwen Stacy. That was just a blonde-haired civilian person. I'm not counting it. So we've got the classic Gwen Stacy here. As you can see there, she's got printing on her hairpiece for the headband that she always wears. She's got the classic green jacket and purple dress with very minimal printing on the jacket and no printing on the arms. But there's a lot of printing on the legs for the dress and the boots, which are dual molded, and she just has wraparound printing for the green elements of the jacket. She also comes with a book as her accessory. Okay, next up is one of the most slept on Spider-Man villains out there, and that is the Jackal. Now, the Jackal is the reason that the Clone Saga happened, and I know people have some very strong opinions on the Clone Saga series, but this figure is just fantastic in my opinion. I love the way this guy came out with all the fur all over his body and the tattered underwear that the Jackal wears. He has those, as you can see, he has printing on his toes for the toenails, he has black hands, and he uses the Man-Bat headpiece with the big ears. And as an accessory he has the conical flask with the blue liquid inside with a cork on the top. Now, when you think Jackal, you think my favourite Spider-Man character, and that would be Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker, in his sensational Spider-Man suit. How have we not got this yet? We've had the Scarlet Spider figure for Ben Reilly, which I was very happy to get my hands on, but we have not got the sensational Spider-Man Ben Reilly suit, which is just so iconic, especially now that he's got his own run going at the minute. I've given him the much bigger eyes to kind of mimic the McFarlane era of the artwork for the Spider-Man people in the 90s. He's got that huge spider on his chest, just like he did in the books, and on his legs he has printing on the side and a little bit on the front to show his kind of half boots that he always had in the comics. On his arms he has the web printing continuing onto his shoulders there, and he has the exposed web shooters like we got on that Scarlet Spider figure many years ago. This figure doesn't come with any web accessories or anything, but he does come with a separate head, and that would be the same printing on that head as the printing we got on the Peter Parker from the Far From Home sets a couple of years ago, and he also has the dog walker hair in blonde. And rounding off the Parker brothers in this series, we have Kaine Parker, the other Scarlet Spider, and oh god, I love Kaine's suit. I think it's just a brilliant suit, and I really hope we get him at some point in the future from LEGO, because I'd love to add him to my Spider-Man collection. His face print is very much just the San Diego Comic-Con symbiote headpiece, except the lenses are slightly smaller and they are in red instead of white. Now, the way I've designed this suit is based off the Spider-Man PS4 version of the suit with those darker red details that you can see running through the whole suit here. He also has those black accents going from the top of his chest onto his sleeves, and yeah, he just has wraparound printing on his legs once again, and very detailed arms, probably the most detailed out of any of the Spider-Man we've got here from me. Okay, I just want to get this next one out the way because, look, I know the face does not look great, okay? The lizard, it's terrifying, okay? I see this thing when I go to sleep at night. It's horrific. It's very scary, I know. I was trying to go for the whole first appearance lizard sort of thing where he had a very smushed face, but it just ended up being terrifying. Ugh. Anyway, I used the scorpion tail piece in green with the fang coming off the end for giving it a sharp, kind of dangerous look. His legs are dual molded with green at the bottom. There is a green scale texture there, but it does not show up on the render. I'll see if I can put it on the screen for you to see that. But yeah, very basic printing, but the most horrifying head I may have ever designed. Continuing with the villains, we have one of my favourite Spider-Man villains that I really hope we get from LEGO soon, and that is the Shocker in his classic appearance. None of that Homecoming crap, none of that. We don't want any of that. We want classic Shocker in his weird sort of wrestling get-up. I don't really know what he's wearing. He has that insulated texture all over him that's like crisscross pattern. I don't know, but I really love the way the Shocker looks, so I just really wanted to make him. For his accessories, he has two of those lantern ring pieces that we got in the DC CMF Wave 1, and he has a lightning piece that can come off that if you wanted to make it look like he's shocking people. Now this next figure is definitely one that I can see LEGO making soon. We've had Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, Ben Reilly, Peter Parker. When are we getting Silk? I really want Silk. She's one of my favourite spider people out there. Such a great costume design, and to get to have to actually make those red webs going on the suit, what a joy to design. The white piping goes from the torso onto the arms, as you can see, and it also continues onto the legs, which have printing for the white boots. She also has the half mask that was used in Ninjago, but in a dark red, and she does have face printing, but obviously in this render it's masked by the mask, and she has whatever that hairpiece is, but in black. Now this next figure is from my favourite run of Spider-Man comics, and that would be the Superior Spider-Man, which, if you don't know, is Dr. Otto Octavius, who's put his brain inside Peter Parker's body. It's very confusing, but it's Otto Octavius as Spider-Man. What a great suit design. He has printing on his feet for the soles of his shoes. His eye lenses are actually very similar to that of the Iron Spider we got not long ago from LEGO, except they're in a more metallic grey to mimic the metallic lenses he had in the comic books. His arm printing is very similar to that of my sensational Ben Reilly, but except the arms are on black and the exposed web shooters are that of the Superior Spider-Man instead of just the basic Scarlet Spider ones. Torso printing is very basic, it's just a muscle texture with that V-shaped spider logo. But yeah, one of my favourite Spider-Man figures. I was so happy to design him, especially with his accessory. Now this figure comes with his own set of Iron Spider arms, but in red. He uses a brand new back piece that I moulded because I wanted to use the same that we used for those monster things in Infinity War, but it just wasn't working out, so I made my own one, and on that is a clipper piece and then a tooth piece in red to mimic those Iron Spider claws. Now the penultimate figure of this series is one of my favourite Spider-Man villains, and that would be Morlun, one of the inheritors. He's got very basic printing. He's got a no arm printing, hands in white. He does have dual molded legs with the pattern of the trench coat and the trousers leading up into the torso, where he's wearing that very sort of dapper outfit. He has a very freaky looking face print with those really angry red eyes, and he uses the Qui-Gon hair in black. The final figure of this Spider-Man CMF series is kind of a weird one. It is what I've dubbed the crossover suit. Now this is kind of like Peter Parker in his regular blue and reds getting taken over by the symbiote. However, it's not just your basic Peter Parker figure. I've changed it up a little bit for my own sort of design. I've given him blue hands instead of red because I just think the blue looks a lot cooler, and I've given him the half boots from my Ben Reilly figure because I just think that the half boots look really good with this character, and it just adds for a bit more switching up the printing instead of just the basic Spider-Man figures come together, because aside from a lot of the different blue texturing on the symbiote suit, it is just the symbiote suit from San Diego Comic-Con morphed into the red suit. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. As you can see on the symbiote suit, the muscle texture is very much what I did in the Amazing Fantasy suit by giving it the blue texturing to kind of mimic that comic-y look, and as you can see it's kind of spilling over into the Spider-Man suit. His leg is just black, his arms are just black. It's a very basic figure, just two of them merged together, but I think it looks really, really cool, and I hope we get a figure like this in the future. Well, that's it for my Spider-Man CMF series. I hope you have enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe, and tell me what your favourite figure is in the comments below. I'd really love to hear it, as well as anything you would like me to do in future. I'm going to try and put out as many videos as I can, because I just love making them. I've got some sets and some series on the way. Just, yeah, keep a lookout. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.